Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more EarthBound. I am not used to games not having ludicrously long titles. I guess this takes us back to a simpler time. Specifically, last time. We investigated the noise up on the hilltop and found that a meteorite had crashed in very close to our house. If that happened in real life, not only us, but half the dang neighborhood would have been toast. Thankfully, things didn't have to make a whole lot of sense. We also met up with Buzz, who told us that we have an awesome destiny to fulfill, to stop devastation that is 10 years away from arriving. This time, we are not going to go talk to our mom and say that we are okay after we've been away all night without her knowing what in the egads is going on with us. No. We are instead going to go see the creepy man up on the hilltop who said he wanted to see us later alone. Sounds like a smart idea. And this is the enemy that we never got a chance to see when we were going up to the hilltop, the runaway dog. There's nothing too remarkable about them. They're just here for experience grinding, which... why would you want to do that when they only give 4 experience points? They're arguably less noteworthy than the coil snake, because at least with the coil snake, I can tell you that they're the worst enemy ever and that you should never ever fight them if you can possibly avoid them, but runaway dogs, not really so. They're an experience grinding enemy that you would never have a reason to ever want to grind up on. Unless you're lucky to run into a lot of them up on the hill, on the way up the hill the first time, but I was not so lucky. He let out a loud piercing howl right there. That doesn't do anything. He just kind of wastes his turn. His biting attack is all right. Thankfully, we're not a snake, as we saw the matchup of dog versus snake is a very devastating one for the snake. And we should be just about up to the top. All right, no snakes over here. Nope, we can just go right on inside. I'm doing this because I trust you. First, let's go to the basement. I could tell by the look on your face you don't want to hang out, do you? That's all right. After all, we're not even related. I know you think I'm a big liar, but maybe I'll surprise you. Ooh, is it candy? Nothing else to do but go into his hole if that's the case. He has this whole big cavern down here. Under the floorboards, where no one can hear us scream. So, Nest Buddy, I found proof of a great treasure. A huge haul. Yeah, I'll show you, but you're the only one. Come on. If this is a sign of what lies below, I just need a little time. My destiny is to find and dig up the buried treasure. I'll eat garlic and work out to help strengthen myself. Go home now. You're getting in the way of my work. You may start to get greedy thoughts. The golden statue is glowing strangely. I know where your mind defaulted to. I know where my mind defaulted to. And somehow this manages to be even more unsettling than where my mind defaulted to and where yours did too. It's kind of sketch to say the least, but at least we came here and got to see something cool. For once, an old man who wanted to see you in his basement promising you treasure actually delivered on his promises, even if his first name was Liar. Well, I do want to promise you that, contrary to what we've seen up to this point, and contrary to what you're probably thinking, this game is indeed not going up and down this hilltop over and over again the whole time. This is at least one of the last times that we will ever have to do that, so don't worry about that. Let's just go back down and see our mom and, face the music. Oh, never mind! Wow, alright, I didn't think I'd get to do that. New game mechanic. You are able to get first attacks on your enemies if you sneak up on them from behind. As you can see, it's a little bit, well, as I said about the other thing, sketch, if you are able to do that or not. It's really, really weird, very unwieldy at times, and sometimes you get first attacks that you don't mean to. Lets you kind of get a free turn. If you want to run away from a battle, you will always get away if you are the one getting the first attack. Contrary, if enemies sneak up on you behind, you will get back attacked and they get the first strike on you, which can be rather devastating, especially because we are all on our lonesome, and if just we go down, it is game over. Backpedaling a little bit, all that stuff with Liar Exaggerate was optional. You don't have to go up here, and I always forget to do it. I'm learning. And our mother no longer has the patience to wait outside for us every time we go out. She won't, but thankfully, this man was waiting to jump out of his helicopter for us. Pictures taken instantaneously. I'm a photographic genius if I do say so myself. Okay, get ready for an instant memory. Look at the camera. Ready? Say Fuzzy Pickles. Wow, what a great photograph. It will always bring back the fondest of memories. And his planet needs him. I don't know about you, but I like saying Fuzzy Pickles when I get my picture taken. Little did he know how influential of a photographer he would ever be. And the Japanese version just said to say cheese sandwich, and I very much like that change. Hello, Sar. I don't want to go out anymore. I don't care if everyone thinks I'm a stubborn mutt. Too bad for you, you gotta poop outside. You're not a cat. You're back! Don't bother yourself with talking now. You look tired. You look too tired. Mothers understands these things. Eat some beef and scoot up to bed. Just like before, we are able to heal here at absolutely any time. And don't worry, you only have to sit through the photographer's spiel one time. It's my line now. Oops. What the hey? Well, see you. Tracy, you're actually also pretty good. I kind of wish you got to come along with me. I think I saw a movie like that once. Yeah. So she is able to store items and check them out. We've been over this already, but I wanted to stop in with her momentarily just to say that if you stocked up on so many cookies from the Spiteful Crows that you had full inventory when BuzzBuzz tried to give you the Soundstone, Tracy would have the Soundstone for you, and that's where you would get it. What do you say? Good morning, Sleepy Bones. Are you ready to start your adventure? I'm so proud of you. My little man is growing up too fast. I gotta hand it to her. She's a lot more understanding than my mom would be about a bug telling me to save the world and giving me a rock. As we head south, we're going a route that we could never go before, as it was blocked off. Onett Public Library. Use the library more. Effective marketing. A library is a nice place to learn stuff. I got a lot of info about EarthBound. You can borrow maps for nothing. You're just saying the same thing again. Fourth wall breakage, get used to it. But if it has a lot of good information about EarthBound, it sounds like a really good place to start. Heck, maybe they'll know what this awesome destiny is that we're supposed to fulfill. Hi! Kids can borrow only maps at this library. What a ripoff. I thought our public library system was bad, but sheesh. Do you want to borrow one? Nah. A man without a map isn't popular with the girls. Do you want one now? No. A man without a map isn't popular with the girls. Do you want one now? A man without a map isn't popular with the girls. Do you want one now? Okay. Here's a map. Onett isn't the only thing on the map. All the info is there except the info that isn't there. Press the X button. Pressing the X button always allows you to look at the map at any time. How convenient. You know the X button, located near the top. If you talk to her, you have no choice but to accept the town map. You do not get a say in the matter. If you want to have a freed up inventory space, maybe you don't want to do that, but I wanted to show it off no less. At Giant Step, there is a monster guard in that spot from the outside world. No one knows when the monster made Giant Step its territory. I wonder if he's stronger than my wife. A man of few words. It's useless talking to him now. If we go upstairs, we will see one of my absolute favorite features in EarthBound, bathrooms. No. I'm in here. Don't try to come in, especially if you don't need to use the bathroom. Don't talk to me. I'm thinking. We all enter deep thoughts on the toilet. But you cannot actually go into the bathroom. That guy beats you to it, you can't go inside, but it does answer the question of why there are no bathrooms in RPGs. They're always in use. If we go around a little bit more, I want to show you the town map. Onett is huge. I consider it one of the biggest cities in Eagleland. We have a lot to see. There are many different services around town, many of them useful to us, and that's largely what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to be going around town, just kind of exploring a bit, exploring a git. No, we're not exploring a stupid, silly person. I think that's what that means in British English. Ness, I'm doing watch out duty for the hideout. Can you take over? Just kidding. Being watch out is my job. All right, sorry, you caught me for not listening to you there, but we're gonna explore a little bit. And if you walk up through these trees, there's a little secret passageway. This is what he's looking out for. I'll give you my Mr. Baseball cap. I know you've wanted it for a long time. It's the best cap for someone really brave like you. This is one of the best pieces of equipment that you will see for a long time. I guess it was too much trouble to write head, so they wrote other. We put on the Mr. Baseball cap, and our defense goes up a whopping 4 times what it currently is. It doesn't increase your defense by 4 times, it just kind of adds 6. I just thought I'd make that a little bit clearer because that made it sound a lot cooler than it actually is, though. But it's hard to overstate how much I love the Mr. Baseball cap. It's free, it's better than anything that we can buy right now, and I love coming here and getting this thing. I had a dream about you. You were traveling with a cute girl. If the dream comes true, say hi to her for me. After all, I'm single. You've grown since I last saw you. You're beginning to look like a man. You're so cool. I think I really like you. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. This little clubhouse is great. One of my favorite, little locations out there. And I remember on my entire first playthrough, I didn't even know that it was there. So that was kind of the beginning of just learning new things about it all the time. Ah, hello. Don Rossetti, I presume. You got a great big smile on your face. Yeah, and you're not our enemy. I am simply your average run-of-the-mill mole. Would you like some hints from fighting enemies? Probably nothing that I haven't already gone over. Yeah, he's just talking about first attacks and back attacks. If you ever see this mole, he'll give you hints on various game mechanics. The world in front of you will show a red swirl for a second. If you push it over the back side, you may get a surprise opening attack. In that case, on your TV, oops again. World in front of you. Buddy, we break the 4th wall in this game, okay? You don't need to cover up. The lady at the front of the library beat you to it, okay? Giant step. North at the top of the mountain. Danger. Do not enter. Challenge accepted. I heard there's a big footprint on the hilltop behind this shack. I haven't seen it myself, it's just a rumor. The shack was locked by someone from City Hall, so we can't use it. The reason it was closed is because a punk named Frank may have trashed the place. What a drag. We can't even change our clothes, and hotels are too expensive. Door is locked. We have our entrance a giant step. We know about it. We heard about it a little bit at the library, but we can't actually get inside. Wow, there are a lot of... Whoa! Okay, maybe this would be a good time to mention that if you ever don't like what you see and there's just too many darn enemies around for you to, you're too good to deal with all these enemies, you can just walk off screen a little bit and the enemies will disappear. It is an old game after all, so the general rule of thumb works here too. Gonna walk around a little bit. Some buildings you can't enter. Usually these are my favorite ones. Psst, whisper, whisper, psst, psst. Shh, what if someone overhears us? Right, whisper. Psst, psst, wahaha. You jerk. Because, see what I mean? Doesn't waste your time, just, it's really, really amusing. The flowers in the garden are representative of those in your heart. Sorry, I already stepped on them to read the sign. And you over there in the orange jumpsuit and the dreadlocks, I like you a lot. You're one of my favorite generic NPCs. A girl named Paula lives in Tucson. Her mother runs a preschool out of their home. I can't remember the name of the school, but I heard Paula's really special. Why is she special? I forgot to ask. Oh well. Definitely something to keep in mind for later. Heck, we even named her ourselves, so I say that that's a sign of something to definitely remember. And is it this house? You're not the one that I wanted to talk to. I wanted to go into this house over here. I moved here from way, way, way away from the next town. In the next town, there is the, what is the name? Polar Star Preschool. The preschool is at Paula's house. Paula uses, what's it called? Magic. I'll have to meet her. After all, I'm only psychic. I need a magic user to balance me out. I think that's just about all the regular old, normal people that I would like to talk to. Let's head on over to the drugstore. As you might have gathered, this has a very modern setting. You don't have armories and blacksmiths and all that. No. If you want to buy the latest weapon, you gotta go down to wherever toys are sold, and you gotta buy yourself a nice, new, shiny, aluminum baseball bat. This is a lot better than the crack bat that we saw before, and for whatever reason, we are able to buy them. First, we steal from our little sister. Then, we sell the evidence to get rid of it. Thank you, thoughtful menu design. You know exactly the kind of hero I am. And And there's a few other things here. Yo-yos are interesting items. They can be equipped by absolutely anyone. They are not locked to any sort of character. However, they have bad accuracy. If you want to buy this, it's less damage to the wallet, but also less damage in general. It's a weapon on a budget. As for the baseball cap, we don't need to buy a single baseball cap, because ours is already married. And the cheap bracelet. Whenever an item is going to raise your stats, you will see your icon flashing before you purchase it. Very thoughtful design there, in addition to him buying your old equipment once you are done with it. I don't have anything else that I need, but what I would like to do is get his hopes up, acting like we're gonna buy something from him even though we're not. You don't want to buy anything from me? Oh, you hurt my feelings. Can I get you anything? All he sells are cold remedies. This is a drugstore after all. Be pretty sorry if they didn't sell them, but we don't need that at all. We haven't caught a cold up to this point. I say we're pretty good. You! I'm Ruffini the dog. I'm being possessed by the spirit of the game designer, Ruff. Do you see the window showing the HP and PP at the bottom of the screen? When you go to a store that has equipable items, the window will either flash, look normal, or become black. Oh my god, repeated tutorials. Buzz was right. Gygus is turning animals evil! If the item's power is equal to or less than your current equipped item, the window looks normal. If you can't equip an item, the window is black. This dog is interesting. So, I remember as a kid, everyone said that he was one of their favorite minor characters, and I didn't get it at all. I didn't understand what was so funny about him being called Ruffini because I was pronouncing it Ruffini. I was kind of slow in the mind area. In addition to that, I guess I can show this right now. You can actually use this payphone right here. Any sort of green phone will cost you $1 to use. We'll call Mom. Is that you, Ness? You called me back sooner than I thought. Everyone here is doing just fine. Oh yes, Tracy started working part-time for the Escargot Express. Here, I'll let you talk to her. And call me anytime you have some time. Oh, you don't have any free time? Well, here's Tracy. Hello, this is Escargot Express. Was that you, Ness? Big bro, it's me, Tracy. Working part-time for Escargot. I keep wanting to say the Escargot Express. You are able to have items picked up on the go or delivered to you if you've previously stored them over the phone now. You get a separate phone number for this. You do not call Mom for it. Just wanted to show that really quick. Anyway, some other things about Ruffini the dog. In the Japanese version, he would ask you to mail your questions and comments about the game to a certain address. If you did this, you got a unique postcard that was not made available for sale related to this game. Hardly any of them have surfaced since those days. They were individually numbered, and the highest number ever found didn't even reach 100. It is unreal how much one of these things would be worth if they could be found today. It's a very remote part of EarthBound history, and another case where a very minor NPC is very, very important. Things are very relaxed. They never asked me, would you like fries with that shake? Well, in this fake as dirt enthusiasm from a retail employee, the burger shop. Can of fruit juice and cup of coffee aren't really so great. This'll stunt your growth, boy. You have the bag of fries, which is also kind of not so great. The hamburger, on the other hand, is one of the best health recovery items available to you. I think I will buy one. I don't want to get too crazy with purchasing these. I do definitely recommend that you grab one. They're not expensive, and they're basically full heals at this point in time. You don't want to get too crazy with buying these, because if you just go outside in the garbage can... Ness dug around in the trash can. Well, let's see here. There is a hamburger inside. Ness takes it. Yeah. It's no different from the one that we just bought inside. Lesson learned. Dig through the garbage can of your favorite fast food restaurant if you want to avoid paying. It's great. Every person I've ever known that has played this, even if they didn't like the game that much, they at least chuckled at that one. That's a great one. And you know what? Learning by our example. Let's see here. There was just plain old garbage in the trash can. Aww. Just like gashapons, I guess. Okay, pop quiz. A Beatles song, XXXterday. Can you fill in the blanks? I don't know. Buzzed. A Beatles song, Noterday. Wrong. It's clever wordplay. He's impressed. All right. I guess kind of moving on to the next thing that we can show. Well, I don't really have a need to go here yet. Hotels, I just want to mention that they have phones that you can use for free if you ever want to call your mom or anything like that. I don't really need the hotel. We're doing pretty well on health and all that. Is is there any place else that I particularly want to go? I guess we could go to City Hall. I do kind of like going there first, and there are some nice things to see there. We did hear about how City Hall is why Giant Step is locked up because a guy named Frank trashed the place, so maybe we can get some answers here. There are lots of snakes and stray dogs around Onett. Is the mayor going to let them just run around doing whatever they want? I'm here to protest! This guy's one of my favorites. I'm really in a foul mood. Why? Because the mayor doesn't like me. I think I'll just kick back for a while. It may take me a couple hours to sign this paper. Oh, aren't you Ness? Is it a school holiday today? Have you done your homework? Who's asking? Remember to brush your teeth before going to bed. Have you been wetting the bed? Who the heck are you? You care more about me than my actual mom does. Not worried about me at all when I'm out all night, and yet here you are, you don't even know me, and you're more worried than that. Some suspicious-looking kids are hanging out in the woods north of the library. I wonder if they are members of the Sharks. To stop the spread of the gang, someone should shut down their gathering places. Don't you think? I've started a movement that will stop all the bad influences on the children of Onett. I call it the Fresh Breeze Movement. Hum-de-dum. Thinking you can control us. Did I tell you I saw a giant ant one time at Giant Step? Oh, sorry. Did ant mean to spoil it for you? I work for City Hall, but somehow Mayor Perkle bugs me. Let's keep this between you and me. And lastly, we don't have any openings for part-time employees at this time. Not like I wanted to get involved in politics in a time like this anyway. If we go over here to see the mayor, the mayor's office is on the second floor. You need an appointment before you visit. I'm gonna have to stop you if you try to see the mayor. No, you won't, lady. You're not gonna stop anything. But this guy will. The mayor is busting his butt with all the troubles in town, like the sharks and the meteorite. Hey, you the guy who's trying to reform the sharks? Whoa, whoa, whoa! You gotta be kidding. Scram! That got us nowhere fast. That is a lot of things around town. I guess if there's one last place that I want to show in the way of services, all the other ones I think will have a more natural opportunity to see later, but the very last one is over this way. Actually, no. Before we do that, there is one more house that I think is actually rather nice. I know that we're just kind of going around talking to people, but that's kind of what you do in EarthBound a little bit. I think whenever we arrive in new places, we will spend a decent amount of time talking to people, and Onett is one of the largest cities, like I said, so it won't go on for this long normally, plus we're having to see all the services for the first time. I wonder if EarthBound has been released yet. That one was too good not to show. You do that, where you're gonna go take care of things, and then you remember, oh right, that person's really funny, or oh, that person's got something interesting to say, and it piles up, and then you go on a big chain, and then it's, what was I doing again? It just sort of happens. The bakery is the last place that we have not gone. May I help you? What shall I get you? These are interesting. We can buy bread rolls and cookies now, skip sandwiches, make it so that you move faster for a little while after you eat them. It can be helpful in avoiding enemies and just getting around quickly. Maybe you're not fond of the movement speed, well, that'll fix things right up for you. However, there is a very interesting item called the Lucky Sandwich here, and the way that this works is that it has many different effects that it can possibly give you. There are 6 separate items, all named Lucky Sandwich, and just before the item is placed in your inventory, the game will choose one of these 6 at random and give it to you. 44% of all Lucky Sandwiches restore 60 HP. 25% of all Lucky Sandwiches restore 240 HP, which, when we only have 45, you really need that much. 19% of Lucky Sandwiches will recover all of your HP, which is just as good as the 60 HP recovery, so why is this $128 and being sold to us right now? Now it gets a little bit interesting. 6% of the time, it restores 5 PP. 4% of all Lucky Sandwiches will heal 20 PP. This is one of the very rare times where you can get renewable items that restore PP, and the only example of it that'll be happening for a long time. Then, at 2% of the time, it will restore all of your HP and all of your PP. I feel sorry for all the kids who thought this was a big special item and grinded up for it, thinking that they were going to get some sort of amazing effect with it. Personally, when hearing that name, I would think it would give me permanent stat buffs and a random stat or something like that when it costs that much. As this is overpriced, to say the least, I'm not going to be buying a Lucky Sandwich now, but because I never buy them normally, I think a little bit later when we have money coming out of our ears, I'll give it a go. I'll see how well it goes for me as somebody who has not used one in several years. And since we're right here, let's make this lady the last townsperson we talk to today. I want to tell you the story of the creature from the vegetable soup. But I won't, because I don't want to bother you with a story that has nothing to do with your adventure. If I keep talking about unrelated stuff, you might start ignoring important messages. It's important for you to talk to people. Also, a person might give you a different message depending on when you speak to them. I wish you weren't in a bakery. More people should talk to you. I can't help but feel like that might have been inspiring to some people when writing their own stories or, possibly becoming game designers or something of that nature. You know what? I keep wanting to end this off, but this guy is not going to let us. Oh, wow. Smart AI he's got there. We have a new enemy, the Yes Man Jr. These are the first example of the sharks. You know the sharks, the local ruffians. Wow! Holy heck! Offense went up, defense went up. That's a stat we haven't seen before. Does exactly what you think it does. You don't even need me. Speed went up by 2. Speed is an interesting stat. Your speed is your average turn order in battle. Your speed is rolled within a certain range with your actual speed stat being in the middle of it. So even though Ness is actually a pretty slow character, sometimes he'll occasionally outspeed enemies he didn't outspeed the previous turn because that's rolled every turn. That's how it works. Turn order is a little bit luck-based, influenced by your actual stat. And Guts! That determines how often you get smash attacks. I have no need for that. Luck is your probability of avoiding certain attacks, and it also gives you, it's also the probability of items that have special effects that only sometimes go off, the probability of that going off. Gets a max PP, gets a max HP, and we also get the power of Hypnosis Alpha. We're not fighting, well, okay, I guess we will kind of fight this guy so I can demonstrate that. See what I mean? It just does not end. I don't want to stop playing, and I want it to feel like we've done a lot. Oh, skate punk, all right. Let's go ahead and try out our hypnosis. This will put an enemy to sleep. Whenever you are struck when you were asleep, you have a 50% chance of waking up. That is if it even works at all. I thought we'd use that first turn to our advantage. I really want to make this work. Okay, he fell asleep, and he is still asleep. I might be able to take care of this. And now he wakes up. Okay, so 2 turns, and we were able to take him out without taking any damage. Pretty helpful, though it did drain a lot of our PP. And I guess because I keep going off on tangents, because we are kind of weak right now, we will go to the hotel. You can rest up at hotels. You might not really want to do that because your mom heals you for free and she's not that far of a walk away, but if you ever die, you respawn back at the last time that you healed. This can be a good grinding spot just because of that. I have, I think, $1 too much to rest. There is living proof that I have no life. And let's stay. That is all of Onett, except for the ruffians terrorizing the town, which it sounds like we gotta do something about them if we want to make it up to Giant Step. Next time on EarthBound, we're gonna take the fight to them. See you guys then.